Alright, everybody. First off, I just want to welcome you. We are finally here. Second half of the season for the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds here at Lernerville Speedway. We are here for week 5. We're ready to get everything kicked off. We're taking a look here at Landon Rogers right now, getting his qualifying attempts done right now. But while we wait for everybody to get qualified, we'll go ahead and get everybody kind of caught up on if anybody missed anything from last week, as we didn't have the broadcast up. For people that were here due to incidents last week, Drew Junkman is serving his 1-week suspension due to an incident under caution, as well as Colton Zimmer will be serving his start in the feature, in the first heat, I believe, in EOL penalty. So we'll go ahead and get those administered as followed. Other than that, that's pretty much all the basics you missed. All these drivers are running for pretty hefty payouts, $300 for first place of the season once it's all said and done. It is a total of a 12-week season, $5 entry, invite-only league. And as you can see, we do have some fan favorites here. As always, Toby Kirk. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. It looks like he's on the track right now for his qualifying laps. Toby Kirk's running right now about 6. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like he got into the wall. I know he's got a backup car on that trailer, so he'll be able to get that pulled out and get that ready for our heat races going into the feature. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other qualifying cars right now. James Murphy on the track. He has always been a favorite. He has pretty much dominated any time he has been on the track as well. As you can see, already pulling a qualifying time of a 15 flat to start this qualifying run. He's got one more lap to bring it around. Was he able to beat it? 15 flat, it looks like it's going to stay your pole time. He's going to give it one more try. You do get 3 laps of qualifying with all of our sessions in 3 PG. Can he make it happen? He had to dive down to avoid that wall. 14.96 is going to be your pole setting time. Colton Zimmer is going to be sitting in second place. Well, 0.08 of a second behind him, and you're going to have Landon Rogers rounding out your top 3, sitting 0.1 of a second behind James Murphy as of right now as it sits. Let's take a look at a couple of the cars I see still on the track. Ty Williams in that 27 machine making his way around. It's a very nice looking modified. I know he was just hitting up Bender Designs the other day to get a UMP wrap made. I can't wait to see him debut that with his race team as well. Ty Williams pulling in about 0.05 of a second behind him, squeaking in for that second place spot in between him, or James Murphy and Colton Zimmer. Is he going to be able to make anything happen as he comes back around? I believe this is lap 2. Was he able to get that pole sitting time? No, he is not. He's got one more lap to do it as he brings it around right now. Let's see if he can get it done. Takes it into 3 and 4. He's going to elect to take the high line, carry as much speed as possible. Same thing that was happening in the sprints last night. He's going to sit in second place as of right now. I don't think anybody's going to beat those two, so I think our top 3 are pretty safe to say. It's going to be James Murphy, Ty Williams, and Colton Zimmer as your top 3 for week 5 of the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. Chat, go ahead and let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think's going to win. Wes, if you ever want to look at co-broadcasting one day, I see Toby mention you throwing your name up. It could definitely be looked at. We're always taking people to help out because there's a couple. We always want to broadcast all our series ourselves, and we could always use the extra help. Yep, as Max was saying, we can definitely get something set up if you wanted to. Who do you guys think the favorite's going to be tonight? I think every time I ask this question, I hear Toby Kirk. But outside of Toby Kirk, who do you guys think is going to win this race tonight? I'm very curious to hear what you guys got to say. Other than that, we'll go ahead and wait about 60 seconds or so as we get ready to get lined up for the first heat. I believe they're waiting on me, so go ahead and get everybody a view of what it would be like if you were sitting in one of these modifieds right now. As you can see, this would be me in real life, hands trembling, sitting there on the wheel. I wouldn't know what to do with these guys, so that's why they keep me in the broadcast booth. Thankfully, we'll go ahead and get back there where I should be. Not really a good camera angle when they're in the pits, unfortunately. It's kind of sad. We'll go ahead and wait a second, wait for all these cars to get pulled out, and we'll go over starting positions before we go into the first heat of two, like I said, of week 5 of the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. Which one of the race control hasn't hit the button? Looks like we're just sitting here waiting on the time to run out for everybody to grid up. Gives everybody a chance to adjust their setups however they need to do it. Oh, excuse me. I apologize to yawn there for everybody on stream. We are going to be having 8-lap heat races tonight, so these guys are going to have 8 laps to see what they can do and see who's going to be the pole setter going into tonight's feature. It's going to be a 30-lap feature tonight, so at Lernerville, that could always be very, very interesting, especially in them last 5 laps. So we'll see if we have a last lap pass again like we did in the sprint cars last night and have a different or completely unexpected winner like they provided. That was a heck of a show, and I'm hoping the modifieds can replicate that. I believe we are going to go 1 to green. I see on the track map they're already on the track, so it looks like I was a hair behind. Let's go ahead and get caught up and see where everybody is positioned. It looks like our pole sitter is going to be the number 65 car of James Murphy. Sitting in the outside pole is going to be the number 20 car of Colton Zimmer. Sitting in third place is going to be the number 5 car of Dalton Bragg. And sitting second row outside, rounding out the field, is going to be the number 77 car of Samuel Stevens. And James Murphy is going to bring it around the front stretch for the green flag as we go into turn 1. Colton Zimmer is going to take that middle line. Dalton Bragg sending it down low. They're going to see if they can find some speed. And James Murphy sending it on top. Whoever can get the cushion going, I think they're going to be able to win this race. That's where the speed was yesterday in the sprint cars. It took about 20 laps for everybody to figure it out, but when they did, it started to separate from the top to bottom. 2 laps into this first heat, you can see the first 2 drivers, James Murphy and Colton Zimmer, starting to separate from the field a little bit. Dalton Bragg sitting comfortably in third place with Samuel Stevenson right on his tail. As you can see, though, Colton Zimmer is doing everything he can to get around him. Let's kind of take a look at what Colton's dealing with in his cockpit right now. Like I said, showed a picture of myself. I'd have been trembling. These drivers are very smooth, very good throttle control. As you can see, their setup builders do very well in what they do because that car sits very well in the corner. Colton's pretty much able to put it everywhere he wants as he sends it here on the inside on the slider to try to get this pass. Unfortunately, James Murphy's doing everything he can to keep it around on the outside, and there's a lot of speed there. I think he's going to be able to hold it for the majority of this race as we're halfway through Heat 1. Sitting in third and fourth, we still have it. Looks like Dalton Bragg in that 5. Oh, Dalton Bragg goes off the top. Is he able to get it back on? I think he's able to save that car. He'll be able to get it back on. Samuel Stevenson at the 77. It looks like we'll take advantage of that sitting in third place. We'll go ahead and get caught back up with the fight for the lead as we're 2 laps to go. James Murphy, it looks like he's able to finally separate himself a little bit. About a second, maybe about a 1.2 seconds ahead as he takes a white flag as time by. I see you saying refresh it. Trying to refresh it right now. I don't know what it is. I'm physically signed into it. Don't know what it could be, to be honest with you. Yeah, we can look at it at some point, but for some reason, some people's trading paints do not show correctly on mine. Like I said, we can take a look at that after if you ever want to, but we've been trying to figure that out for a very, very long time. Before anybody asked, yes, I am signed in. Yes, I started before I get on iRacing. Yes, I hit Control R every time I touch it. Looks like as we're waiting for all our drivers to enter onto the track, they are getting a little antsy, revving the engines down there. I'd be worried one of them's going to blow a motor. That's a very unfortunate thing, and it definitely can happen out here. So we'll see if that might have to take any effect. Maybe the raised water pressure or something like that. I know that's definitely a huge aspect in an asphalt car. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting field for the second heat of the Bender Design UMP Modifieds. Starting on our pole is going to be the number 27 car of Ty Williams. Outside pole is going to be the number 3 car of Landon Rogers. Sitting in third place is going to be the number 11 car of Charles New the third. And sitting in fourth is going to be the number 7 car of Toby Kirk. We'll go ahead and get cycled back to our leader as Ty's going to get ready and bring it around a green flag right here.
Green, green, green.
And from here we are, we're green flag racing. Ty Williams is going to bring him into turn one, take that kind of low to mid line. Landon Rogers right behind him on the high side. As you can see, there's a lot of speed there as Ty and Landon are able to kind of separate themselves from the field already. Charles New and Toby Kirk are going to be fighting for that third spot behind them as Ty Williams leads them in lap one. We got a nice consistent 2-car gap, or really 2x2, 2-car gap across the board between Ty Williams and Landon Rogers. They kind of separated themselves, like I said, from Charles and Toby. Landon trying to see what he can do and trying to make that outside work. I think there's a lot of speed there, and whoever truly commits up there and can make it work, I think is going to end up winning this race and winning this feature here in about 15 minutes or so. There's going to be, ooh, Landon gets into the grass a little bit. You got to watch that. They're really trying to see what they can do. Ty Williams is off the top. Ty Williams is off the top of the track. I believe that's going to bring out a caution. Landon Rogers is going to take advantage of that. Nope, Ty, unfortunately, it looks like he was able to get to pit road. Landon Rogers is going to bring it around, and he is going to take advantage of that. Charles New III is also going to take advantage of that. It looks like he was able to win the battle for third place between Tim and Toby Kirk, and in doing so, that's going to go ahead and bump him back up to second. Toby Kirk, like I said, is going to be rounding out your field right now in third place for the second heat of the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. We'll go ahead and bring it back to our leader as we bring it 2 to go this time by. Like I said, pretty nice view. We'll go ahead and get it from our third-party gaming chopper that we got in the skies tonight. Thank you, Bender Designs, for going ahead to fuel that up for us as we take it around to watch Landon Rogers win the second heat of the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. So at this point, they've added a new feature for how we are doing a invert system for the feature. What they are doing is they are spinning a wheel in the Discord right now. It's perfectly live for any of the drivers or any of us to get into. I'm working on finding a way to extract that stream for OBS so we can watch it in the future. That will be ready next race on. But what they will be doing is they will be inverting anywhere between 2 and 8 racers. So they could potentially invert this whole entire field. We'll go ahead and wait, see what they end up inverting. I'm going to go ahead and peek over there and see what I can find. Hey guys, you may or may not be live on the broadcast. How many are we inverting? I don't know if you're live or not, actually. Up, you are live now to the broadcast, Max. How many are we inverting?
We are inverting 2.
We are going to invert 2. Awesome.
First and second will swap positions.
I'll go ahead and get that announced for everybody over here. Gotta better explain what's going on there, and I will be back in broadcast when you're dragging top 3 down for us. Appreciate you, bud.
Copy that. Thank you, sir.
Alright, and you heard it there. Like I said, I'll go ahead and get it to where we can stream him doing that wheel spin live, but we do it in Discord for everybody to see. It looks like they are going to invert the top 2, so we'll go ahead and let the get that straightened away, that should be a pretty easy swap. If they're inverting the top two, they're just pretty much swapping. So, probably the easiest invert they could have done. They started this rule going into this week to kind of change it up a little bit. As we get about halfway through the season, car counts always start to dwindle down because as people realize they're not going to make the top five, or, the payouts, they unfortunately just lose the will to go for it. And a couple of drivers have already made the playoffs, are already locked in with a win, sitting good in points, so they don't have to worry about it. As well as you do get one drop week, so the car counts are kind of sporadic, unfortunately, until we get back to playoff racing, as we will be there at week 9, 4 weeks from today. Technically 5 weeks, because we take Thanksgiving off, where we want to let all the drivers have an opportunity to spend time with their families as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the number 11 car, I believe, is on the track right now. And Charles New III, sitting with the third fastest time in this warm-up session. There's a couple drivers I expected to be a little bit higher. For example, James Murphy, he was our Heat 1 winner. But these drivers are very close. If you look at first through fifth, you're separated by 0.2 of a second, which, Lord knows, I mean, we're talking one wheel twitch, a little bit too hard on the throttle, you cause a little bit of wheel spin, that's one mistake, and you've lost even more, maybe double that. So there's a lot that can happen. So we get the checkered flag on this warm-up session. We'll go ahead and get ready to bring everybody out for green flag racing here for week 5 in the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. Alrighty. With the invert, I believe James Murphy will be second place, and Landon Rogers will be your pole sitter for tonight's race, with the top 2 inverting. After that, looks like it's going to be as it sits unofficially Colton Zimmer in third, with Charles New to third in fourth. Fifth place is going to be held by Samuel Stevenson. Sixth place will be Toby Kirk. And seventh place will be the 5 car of Dalton Bragg. And sitting in eighth, rounding out our field, will be the number 27 machine, who we thought was going to win Heat 2, Ty Williams. We're sitting in car right now with Charles New the third as they get ready to bring it out on this track. As you can see, Lernerville is a very banked track for anybody that has ever raced here. Carries a lot of speed. It can get very slick, very quick, and it really can test you as a driver start to finish on this racetrack. Looks like I said, James Murphy is going to cycle to outside pole, and your pole sitter is going to be Landon Rogers. Landon Rogers is on the tail, unless there was something I maybe missed specifically. Nope, Colton Zimmer is back there on the tail. So Colton Zimmer is certainly that penalty that I brought up in the beginning of that heat. Who are we missing here? Charles New the third is starting our race off. I'll have to confirm with race control on what exactly happened there. I'm not kind of sure. I know what happened with Colton Zimmer. He ended up going to the tail, but I don't know if there was a penalty or anything served or anything like that. Not exactly sure. We'll have to check that out. But either way, Charles New the third is going to be your pole sitter. James Murphy is going to be on his outside. Samuel Stevenson Rowdy out on third place outside, inside of him. Toby Kirk on his outside, and we're green flag racing. Charles New the third is going to lead him down. I wonder if Landon Rogers took the EOL challenge. That very well might have been the case, folks. There is the EOL challenge, as always. I didn't really take that into consideration. It's very possible that Landon Rogers took that, and he's fighting as hard as he can to try to get through the field. I'll have to confirm with our race control to kind of check that out and see what happened there. But the Kirk train is rolling. I see you there, chat. Toby Kirk sitting in fourth place. Charles New the third, your leader. James Murphy in second. Ty Williams, his teammate, sitting in third place right now. Landon Rogers in fourth as he gets around Toby Kirk, and he is making his way through the field with Colton Zimmer right behind him. We'll go ahead and get a in-car cam and kind of see what Colton Zimmer's dealing with. He's sending it low. He's going fast. He's going as hard as he can, trying to make his way through this field. The thing is, he's got Landon Rogers right beside him, and Landon knows if he don't get ahead of Colton, he might not be able to the rest of the race. He's going to fight him as hard as he can right now to do it, and as he does that, it's going to take them longer and longer to catch up to this top three that you're looking at. We'll go ahead and get an in-car cam at Ty Williams, your third place car, kind of see what we're looking at as we're 6 laps in of our 30-lap feature. Charles New to third, his teammate here, is having a very, very good, consistent race. James Murphy doing everything he can to try to get around and get under him, but Charles has just found it looks like a lot of speed in this modified. Charles New to third is going to be your leader in lap 7, about 0.5 of a second ahead of second. Ty Williams sitting about a second to a second and a half ahead. Let's take a look at James Murphy and see what he can see right here. James is very consistent. He's very good. You see him what he can do. Like I said, he's got a lot of work to do to try to catch Charles right now. And catching him's one thing, passing is another. As you can see, it looks like he's able to make a lot of ground up, but Charles has so much speed on the outside, he's able to just make his way around on the backstretch. So James has got a lot of work to think about what he's going to do. 21 laps to figure it out. I'm very excited to see how this ends up. Let's go back to a normal car cam view of everybody. As you can see kind of the spread between first, second, and third here. It's really not that much. We're talking 2 cars at most between all of them as they lead him around in the lap 10 right now. Sitting behind them is going to be the number 20 car of Colton Zimmer. That's where 4th place backs up to. 5th place behind him is going to be Landon Rogers. Sitting in 6th currently is going to be the number 5 car of Dalton Bragg. And the fan favorite, the number 7 car of Toby Kirk, is going to be rounding out 7th. Samuel Stevenson, it looks like he was ahead of him, but he is being scored a lap down, potentially doing the going off a track or something along those lines. I saw a car go off a track earlier in the race, but let's go ahead and bring it back to our leader right now. Charles New to third, trying to do everything he can. He's trying to put a little bit of distance between him and James Murphy, and he knows how good of a driver he is. Not to mention you got Ty Williams right behind him in third. That's 2 cars I really don't want to let catch to you. Best thing he wants to see right now is those 2 start fighting for second, and he can just start pulling away. 13 laps in, about to be 14. The yellow flag is out. Holy crap, the number 5 car, it looks like, is going to be on the receiving end of that. Let's go ahead and back up a little bit and see what happened here. I don't know if there's any kind of extracurriculars or anything like that. Looks like Dalton Bragg ends up getting into the front stretch wall, gets a little bit sideways, and unfortunately ends up getting spun out there. So I think that's going to be what ended up happening. Unfortunately, Dalton Bragg got into the front stretch wall, ended up getting around turn 1, and got his car spun around coming out of turn 2. So we'll go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders right now. And we'll see how we will get everything lined up. I know at one point we were doing a choose car. I haven't seen the choose car out as much as of lately. Excuse me. Trust me, this is very late for me as well. It is a very long night. I do apologize about the yawn. Like I said, about the choose card, normally we do have that out. I don't think they've been bringing it back out as of lately, and the main reason why is just taking a little bit extra time, especially with all the cautions that were coming in. But once we get the cautions dwindle back down, we would like to bring that back out. We think that was a very interesting aspect of dirt track racing as a whole. As we sit here under caution, we should have about 2 more laps before we go green. Looks like the pace truck is going off the track now. Charles New the third is going to lead him around into the front stretch. James Murphy on that outside pole. Colton Zimmer sitting in fourth. Looks like that was Ty Williams of the number 27 machine in third. Who's going to lead him after this first lap after caution? Looks like we're getting some 3 wide action right there. Let's go ahead and get a better camera of that. 2 wide action going into turn 2. James Murphy and Ty Williams fighting as hard as they can for that second place spot, and Charles New the third is going to take advantage. He's sitting about a tenth, 2 cents of a second ahead of him. Ty Williams doing everything he can. I think he's going to be able to make something happen. Let's take a closer look at this battle a little bit. Ty is sending it as hard as he can to try to get as much space as he can, but that outside is very fast. James has got a very fast car as well. Colton's trying to make it work. It definitely works a little bit better in 1 and 2 than it does in 3 and 4, that's for sure. If they can find kind of a happy middle, I think that line that Ty just shifted to is going to take advantage. Going high side 3 and 4, low in 1 and 2, I think is really going to be where the speed. Let's compare where this slider comes up. He's still not there. If he could do that for maybe another lap or two, he'll be able to get that going. There is a car off the track there. I believe that is Landon Rogers in the number 3. He's able to get that car back on there, so we're happy he's able to get that saved. Taking a closer look at Ty Williams, see if he's able to get it. No, he's still not there. James Murphy's still able to get around him with that speed on the outside. You see the lines of everybody right now. Charles New, James Murphy, Ty Williams, Colton Zimmer, all taking that same exact line on the outside. We are 3 wide. 3 wide. Charles New does a crossover coming out of 2. James Murphy tried to send it to get it done. Ty Williams trying to take advantage. They keep telling me to keep trying to hit Control R. I've been button mashing the hell out of it, but for the entertainment of race control, we will keep trying it. Like I said, we're sitting here and watching pretty much 4 different cars all racing, trying to fight for that first place spot. I apologize for missing exactly where Charles New lost the lead, but it looks like James Murphy was able to take that lead. Colton Zimmer is trying to do everything he can. He gets into Ty Williams. Oh my gosh, they get into each other. They're both off the track. Go ahead and take a closer look at that one. Let's go ahead and give me your opinions. We'll go ahead and do a very slow-mo cam of that. Maybe go back a little further. Give me your guys' opinions of what you think happened here. Here's a slow-mode version of what happened. Almost looks like there might have been a hair of netcode in the way, but even without the netcode, there was contact about to happen, and I don't know how much good was going to happen out of that. Very thankful Charles New the third up there was able to completely avoid that incident. But it's a shame. That's 2 very fast cars, Ty Williams and Colton Zimmer. Unfortunately, had to get into each other. Luckily, you do get 1 fast repair with each race, as well as you get the usually 4 laps under each caution, 4 pit repairs and stuff like that as needed. Race control to make the call. Anything else that's needed throughout the race. So we'll go ahead and wait out the next few laps we have under caution and get ready to go green. And I see Max Bender clarifying there. Landon Rogers took the EOL challenge. Colton, like I thought, had the P1 penalty that I announced in Hot Laps, so that was served during the feature. So Landon Rogers, it looks like, unless he can make something happen with 8 laps to go, is going to be the next person to fall victim to our EOL challenge. I believe for the UMP Modifieds, it's up to $30 now, so that means next week it's going to be bumped up to $35, and then tomorrow we have the $60 EOL challenge currently built up for our pro late model shooters right back here at Lernerville, same exact time, 10 p.m. Eastern for 30 laps here. I'm very excited to see everybody for that. 22 laps in, 8 laps to go. Let's go ahead and go over our current standings right now. Sitting in first place is going to be the number 65 car of James Murphy. Second place is going to be the number 11 car of Charles New the third. Sitting in third place, I believe, is going to be the number 5 car of Dalton Bragg. Fourth is going to be our EOL Challenge sitter, Landon Rogers, and I don't know if he's being. Looks like he's going to be sitting in fourth. Fifth place is going to be the number 77 of Samuel Stevenson. I see Toby Kirk getting him wave around right now. Sitting in sixth place, I believe, is going to be Colton Zimmer or Ty Williams, however they work that out, because they'll both be in the back for that incident. And then, of course, Toby Kirk rounding out the field as he gets his wave around right now. I see the 1 to green command, it looks like, has been given to our drivers, as I can see on the overlay on the top right. We'll go ahead and get ready to go to green as we're sitting here with James Murphy, that number 65 machine, getting ready to bring it home, hopefully. See if he can go ahead and get another win in the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. You know who you got behind him? Charles New the third. Charles has yet to get a win in 3PG officially in a league race, so I think it's time for him to get it done. He's been very fast. He is on James's butt and not giving up. He's trying to get there if he can. Colton Zimmer sitting in third place as well. Let's see if he can make a move. Number 3, Landon Rogers, as you can see back there. We can get back to that. That slider he just threw on Dalton Bragg was something to be reckoned with. And Dalton remembered it, and he's throwing it right back. There's a lot of speed on that outside, and I think Landon's going to be able to clear him right here. Landon gets for the clear. Landon's got 2 spots. He heard me talking crap and said, alright, let's see if we can make it happen. He's got 2 spots to go. Charles is off the track. 1 spot is separating Landon Rogers and winning that EOL challenge. And you know who that car is? The number 65 car of James Murphy. Let's go ahead and see if we can even see him on the same camera when we get to this longer angle. Unfortunately, we can barely see the number 3 car. You can kind of see the distance Landon has to make up. He's a second, about a 1.1 seconds back. Let's see if he can do it. 4 laps to go. As you're looking at the intervals right now over on the left side of the track, he's got to make up about 0.2 of a second each lap if he really wants to make it happen. It doesn't even seem like he really made up much. I hate to be honest with you. He's sitting about the same, unfortunately. I don't think Landon's going to be able to get it done. You can't give any drivers here an edge, and when you're starting all the way from the back, it's just too much to overcome to try to get it done. 2 laps to go this time by. James Murphy's got a heck of a car. He's strong. I don't think he's going to be able to give it up. But you also got Colton Zimmer there. Colton Zimmer doing everything he can to get around Landon Rogers right now. That's points, and points are important, especially when you're trying to make the playoffs. Make sure you got your points minimums, especially you don't got to win, stuff like that. Ty Williams out of nowhere. He's already back. Colton Zimmer's trying to make it happen. White flag. James Murphy's going to win it, but here's the race for second right now. Colton Zimmer is going to get second, Landon Rogers in third, and James Murphy fourth. What a finish. But let's go ahead and take a look at our leader right here, the number 65 car of James Murphy. Heck of a finish, really, you know, from beginning to, or heck of a race from beginning to end. I'm very impressed with that finish. James had pretty much a dominating race for the most part. But let's go ahead and take a look at that last lap real quick. I didn't mean to go to previous crash. Oop, there we go. This is that last lap right here. What a race. Go ahead and take a look. This is what Landon Rogers can see. I mean, coming into that last turn. The last lap pass, that's a heck of a move for the win. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders real quick. They should be getting lined up. They probably already are. I don't think his car ever made it out here, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and get everybody pulled from the Discord, and we will go ahead and get interviews started. Alrighty, we are live and we are back. What I got here is two of the top three finishers tonight for Week 5 of the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. We're going to go ahead and start with our third place finisher, the number 3 car of Landon Rogers. First off, Landon, I saw you tried to take a take a crack at the EOL challenge, and unfortunately, you were the next victim. Do you think you could have did something if you had about 5, 10 more laps, or you think just giving up that much space between you and James was the killer?
No, I don't really think I had anything for them. We've been off lately. Not sure what it is. I hit on something right before the league started. Not even just running the recruitment races, just in general, and everything seems to be off. I don't know if it's from all the updates or what, but I just kind of found something that I'd been on before and it worked decent. But my tires, I don't know how I burn up tires on that kind of track, but I looked at my right rear and it was at 86, so I
Ooh,
think that was the problem.
that's definitely burning it compared to what you could. But I tell you what, you've definitely found some speed. I don't think anybody can deny that, especially after a third place finish. Got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
LMR Wraps, he does all my designs and stuff for free, so I appreciate that. Mad Fast Motorsports, just my real life sponsors too, but I ain't gonna thank them on here. But other than that, that's about it.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know if your or all the wraps showed up correctly. We are working on a minor software issue with that. I found out that half of the people's wraps are showing up properly and half of them aren't. So hopefully you're under the half that it works good and everybody can see his work. But congratulations, buddy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Perfect. As is Landon Rogers and Colton Zimmer. I don't see him anywhere in the Discord. I'm trying to drag him down here. I don't see him anywhere. So, Colton, if you're watching a broadcast and you want to have an interview real quick, right after I get done with James, you're more than welcome to jump in here. But we'll go ahead and move on to our winner here, James Murphy. James, I feel like I've been here before. I feel like I've had this conversation with you before, but another strong race. How's it feel to, I mean, pretty much just continue dominating where you left off?
Yeah, it feels good. I got to cross the finish line first this week, so that's a lot better than it has been. But I I
Understandable, but
feel
you do have a win already. So I mean, you're already up to two. You're tied. You and Bo are currently tied for the most wins for the season in UNP mods. Obviously, you are a lot more consistent, a lot more points in the standings. But I mean, you've been gotta feel good. You've pretty much been dominating these.
yeah, I found some speed in setups, and it takes me a while to get a setup together, but I've been just slowly tuning on it. I wasn't the best tonight, but I got lucky, and I mean being lucky is better than being good any day.
It's kind of two instances of being lucky, because I don't know if you saw last night's race in the sprints, the very last lap the leader went off the track, kind of like how Charles ended up going off the track, and from there it was just smooth sailing for you, just right place, right time. Got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
Thank y'all for putting all this stuff on. Everybody with League of Outlaws, Talking Dirt, and AJ Hunsinger with the rap.
Perfect. And yeah, like I said, hopefully our wraps on the broadcast are working for you. I think you got the for sale one, if that's it.
I
If
do not.
Gotcha. So you're one of the ones it's not working for. So hopefully we can get everything fixed on that, because I got a lot of people asking about that, and we want to show everybody's wraps that, they work hard to get. So we'll hopefully get that fixed for everybody going into next week. But wanted to give everybody a chance. That's our top three, everybody. Landon Rogers third, Colton Zimmer second, and James Murphy first. I'll go ahead and get you guys moved up real quick. All right, and that's pretty much going to conclude it for tonight's broadcast of the Week 5 or the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. We're going to be back 6 days from today on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Week 6 of our Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints. And the day after that, 7 days from today, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, we will be back for Week 6 of the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. For Week 6, we are going to be, it looks like, at Port Royal. So it's going to be a heck of a racetrack, especially, as tricky as Port Royal can be. I'm excited to see everybody there. I think it's going to be a real good one. Tomorrow, we don't have this broadcasted as of right now, but we do have the Third Party Gaming Pro Late Model Shooters premiering for Week 5. Here, as always, over here at Lernerville, it's going to be a great race. Last time we were here, we did 100 laps at Lernerville, and it was one of the best races we did of the year. So I'm very excited to see that. We're only doing 30 laps this time, so we're not going to watch 65, 70 straight laps of competition come out to the point that we got a right rear cam again, seeing how bald these tires are. I'll never forget when we pulled it up and our leader was Dylan Patterson. He was lapping cars to the point that we thought he was going to end up lapping the field. Caution comes out and he had no tires left to the point he was a second and a half slower than everybody else. It was an insane race. Can't wait to see everybody there though. Like I said, that will be tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you next week for week 6 on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints. And 7 days from today,